here with you in MindFit Morning today, and I'm celebrating 1 year of my YouTube anniversary. And so, release the person you are so you become the person you're meant to be. I'm wearing a red dress. I don't wear dresses very often. So now I'm wearing a dress to celebrate this person I'm going to be too. And we sometimes we hold on to who we think we should be for other people instead of going out there and being who we want to be. And that leads me into the fact that there are so many things in life that are worth celebrating. But how often do we take the time to recognize and appreciate all of those good things? The things that are happening for us, and not just to us, but for us. Did you notice I said for us, not to us? Because everyone thinks, oh, this is all happening to me. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people think life's happening to them and they've got no control. But what if it's actually happening for you so that you can learn something through it? But a lot of people go through life on autopilot, doing the same thing day in, day out, without taking the time to acknowledge themselves or the changes that they're making, or the fact that they're just handling situations so much better. And that's actually a real shame, because that recognition, that celebrating of ourselves, is an important part of personal growth, as is recognizing the progress, even if it's only a tiny little bit of progress. And feeling good about yourselves is going to help you, to keep moving forward. But if you never take that step back to appreciate your accomplishments, you'll never be able to build on them because you haven't acknowledged them. So I get my clients to acknowledge even the tiniest little step that they've made, because it's a different step that they didn't take last week or yesterday. And if you don't do that, you may never feel like you're actually getting anywhere. And because of it, you may never actually reach your full potential. That's why I want to stress the importance of reflecting on your journey. And for you to understand that when you do that, when you take the time, it's a massive gesture of gratitude towards yourself. And it's a powerful way to recognize all the hard work you've put in, what you've gone through, and how you've kept going despite what's going on every day, so that you can get to where you are now. So welcome to MindFit Mornings, where every week I share tools, strategies, and concepts so that you can live your life by your design, rather than existing by default with old stories running in the back of your mind that you created in childhood. And if you've just joined us for the first time, this month's theme has been about celebrating the journey we take when we decide to dig deep and start to unpack the places in our hearts and our minds where all those unresolved issues are hiding and silently sabotaging us. And you only know they're in there when you get triggered by something. And people get so annoyed about being triggered by something, rather than actually going, okay, what's this showing me? And when you start taking that stance, it turns everything around. You think this is happening for me and it's for a reason, rather than poor me. Okay. So the first step then is that I want you to think about, is to recognize and honor yourself for even starting that personal growth journey, and to acknowledge all of the good things that have happened in your life, even if those things seem small, because your personal growth journey is a unique and personal experience that should be celebrated in ways that work best for you. No one else can tell you how you should or shouldn't appreciate yourself, right? Your achievements include that you stayed determined, that you stayed motivated, and you kept growing. And I've created 8 different processes for you for how you can celebrate that personal growth journey. And I call these emotional metrics. But that was kind of clever, actually. I just came up with that last night. But they're emotional metrics. Like, we measure everything else, don't we, to see how we're doing and what's working and what's not working. So emotional metrics, right? We need to measure our progress, so we know whether we're going in the right direction or not. So we know whether we need to change something or do something different. And it reminds us of our strengths. And also it reminds us of why we started that journey in the first place. So to do that, then I have get my clients to create a wish list jar, especially if I'm working with couples. He has one and she has one, and you put whatever you want, and you have to put it in all the same size pieces of paper, and you fold it over. You write the things that 10 things each, where all the things would you like to do, and like go on holidays, go for dinner, go for a spa, do whatever. You throw them in a jar, and when you've done something, you've achieved something, you put your hand in and you pull out something, and whatever's on that thing is what you do. Now that can work for couples too. So anyway, that's a different story. But if you want to know any more information about that, just inbox me or message me, and I'll share that with you. Otherwise, this will be a very long thing. Okay, so then the second process is to embrace failure and teach yourself to use it as an opportunity to learn. And how you can do that in a way that works best for you, only you know that. Like, you need to maybe you can take on bigger challenges and push yourself further. Because the biggest thing I want you to really think about today is never be afraid to fail, because your mistakes help you grow. And it's normal to make mistakes. You're supposed to make mistakes when you're learning something new, right? But it's easy to get discouraged. And if you're getting discouraged, you've got to go, where does that come from? What story is wrapped up in around that? Because who cares if I make mistakes? So instead of beating yourself up, which achieves nothing other than you feeling like rubbish and amplifying that story I was just talking about, that's obviously running there, try and look instead at what went wrong and use it as a lesson to help you do better next time. That way, your toolbox for how you handle things and how you do things gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you gain valuable experience, but you also develop this like incredible resilience and resourcefulness. One of my mentors, when I did my Tony Robbins Core 100 coaching, is about, people don't lack resources, they lack resourcefulness. And that's so true. So everything is all perceived failure anyway. So it doesn't matter how many times you fail, how many times you get it wrong. And personally, I don't believe in failure. I believe everything is just feedback and life lessons. And I have a 5-step process that I teach my clients to recognize the lesson instead of getting caught up in the situation. And the first thing to do is to step back and reflect on that experience. Like, what went wrong? And why did it happen? And I always apply the what, why, how, when, and who kind of thing. So like, what went wrong and how did it go wrong and why did it happen? Okay. And then how did you deal with it when it went wrong? And what was the result of that? And how can you do it better next time? So, and if you're blaming somebody else for something, stop doing that, because that's not going to get you anywhere. You may feel relieved from the pressure and get something off your chest, but it didn't teach you anything. And then you've got to do that lesson all over again. How many times has that happened to you? It's like Groundhog Day. Same thing keeps happening over and over and over. It's like, hello, the universe is saying you still need this lesson and you haven't learned it yet. You keep blaming somebody. So stop doing that. It's not helping you at all. So then the third process is to take time to reflect on that journey by maybe making a collage of your journey. You can collect some photos and memorabilia and mementos that represent your accomplishments. And then you can create a timeline of all the major events that you've had on your journey, not just your successes, but your struggles too. Because when you look at your struggles, you can see that you actually got through that, and you can appreciate those things that you did to get past that. And without judgment that you struggled there, it's just like, I'd struggled there, but I got past that. And you can ask yourself, what did I learn from that? And when you're done, you can put that somewhere where you can see it as a visual reminder to inspire you that you're actually making progress. So celebrate that journey. It's an important gesture, as I said before, as a gratitude to yourself. And it's a powerful way to recognize all the hard work every day. And I will keep saying that because it's really important to get that into your mind. So the fourth process then is gratitude for those who've actually helped you along the way. Because you don't have to do it alone. Surround yourself with people who can support you and encourage you, mentor, guide, and inspire you. Okay. Just make sure that you show your appreciation, because a lot of people forget to do that. They just assume that the person knows they're grateful. And that causes all sorts of issues. And even if they did know, what's the harm in showing them exactly how much you appreciate their support anyway? And you might say, well, how do I do that? This comes into, I don't know if you've read the book, The 5 Love Languages. If you haven't read it, I would read it, because it's really good on showing you that you may think you're doing all this to show appreciation and the other person's not getting it. So then you feel unappreciated. They don't feel they're being recognized, and it causes a big mess. So read the 5 love languages. So maybe that you're talking Chinese to your partner, okay, or your friends or whatever. So you can express your appreciation in like quality time, actions, small gifts, or a simple thank you note, even an acknowledgement at a meeting. And remember to show yourself some gratitude too. Okay, cool. And then the fifth process then is to share your story and use your experience to help others, because celebrating your personal growth is not just about looking back and appreciate all the challenges you've faced and overcome. It's about getting out there and helping others do the same, because not everyone has the courage to start. And when you share your story and you show how you've grown as a person, you can inspire others to maybe want to start their own personal journey too. I know I've had a lot of people say to me, wow, if you can do that, maybe I can do that too. Yeah. So then you give them the impetus to want to start, and you can share how and why you decided to start your journey, why you decided to stop living in your comfort zone, why you wanted to grow. What's the point? Some people love it in their comfort zone and they never actually get to experience anything other than same old, same old, same old. You can share how you approach things and how you dealt with challenges and recovered from setbacks. Or even create a blog or do that kind of doing videos, to inspire people on their personal growth journey. I hope that people watch my videos, share my videos, so that other people might be inspired just to see what they're capable of and get rid of that old story that's running around in their head. And so long as you focus on creating content that's honest, practical, and helpful, I'm not trying to be perfect with these videos. I make mistakes all the time, So perfect. And I just saw a note that said, take comments. Take comments. Please chuck some comments up, team. Actually saw that note this time. So, Unlearn to Rebuild says, congratulations on YouTube anniversary. Woohoo! I know, I can't believe it's 12 months already. Happy YouTube anniversary. We've got 115 or 16 videos on there. Through many, it says, happy big dream anniversary of YouTube. Yes, I love that. Congrats on your 1 year anniversary. Thank you, Mark Sullivan from YouTube, Tim as well. Intentional says from YouTube, hip hip hooray on YouTube anniversary. Awesome. Hi, Tip Mother, thanks for joining. Big congratulations on behalf of HTM. Oh, thanks, JP. Awesome. Yeah, I can't believe it's been a year. That's mad. So to create a framework then of that you can help other people to share the journey and just get motivated to go on their journey is a really good thing to do, because everyone's journey is unique and you can help them have the courage to start facing what they've been hiding from for a long time. So that leads me to the 6th process, which is take on a new challenge. So to celebrate your success, set a new goal. Take on a different challenge, one that's bigger and better than before. And remember, you don't have to start from scratch, because there's plenty of ways to build on the skills you've already got, as well as the new ones that you've acquired from your recent personal growth and the process that you went through on that. Just give yourself something different to aim for, something that you'll be proud of when you try to get there. I try to challenge myself every day at the gym. I see somebody doing something, I think, oh, I wonder if I can do that. And I love challenging myself. And recently a little while ago, actually, I started flying helicopters, which was kind of cool. Yeah, just challenge yourself. Keep it interesting. Keep your life interesting. If you feel bored, maybe you're being boring. So try and give yourself something interesting to aim for and lift yourself up. Okay, so the 7th process then, to keep life interesting, is to focus on creating something new as well, whether it's writing a poem or painting a landscape, or even designing something that you can use in your work or personal life. And just create something that represents the changes you're making. And personally, I love writing poetry, and I have actually published a book called Life in Verse. I think about an issue that people are struggling with, and I create a poem around it to give the reader a different perspective. So there's always ways that you can create something that represents the changes you're making too. So every time I make a change, I put it into a poem. So you just find ways that work for you. Like, how can you feel proud of the person you're becoming? And if you struggle with that, ask yourself, what do you need to do? What do you need to stop doing? What do you need to change? And what story needs to stop running so you can feel proud of the person you're becoming? Because you're not meant to be perfect, guys. Okay, whoever's listening to this, there is no such thing as perfect. It's a myth, all right? Perfectly imperfect, as they say. And be open-minded with that when you're thinking about celebrating the person and being proud of the person you're becoming. So long as you're making changes, you're doing something a lot of people aren't doing. So be willing to tackle those old stories that are keeping you stuck, and be willing to stop accepting mediocrity. Right? Perfection is overrated, 100%. It is. So be willing to stop accepting mediocrity and be willing to stop holding on to things out of fear. Instead, give yourself an opportunity to express yourself honestly and openly, because we all live in fear. I'm not going to say this, I'm not going to do that, because I might not be whatever it is you're thinking. I might not be loved, I might not be liked, whatever it is you're thinking. Just stop doing it. You get one life. I saw a YouTuber TikTok the other day that says, one day everybody's going to die. So they said a swear word, so I won't say it on here just in case I get into trouble. Lots of fears are in our head. They really are. So just thinking about being proud of yourself and expressing yourself openly and honestly can give you the motivation you need to go after what you want in life. Like, you're going to die with regrets if you don't, right? And there's a quote that says, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. So think about that when you're getting fed up because nothing's changing. Maybe you're not doing anything to change, all right? So the last process, then, the eighth process, is to keep moving. Whatever happens, never give up. You wouldn't believe how many things that are like on stagnant for me right now, but I'm charging forward anyway, or I'm keep going forward anyway. And yes, I get tripped up. It's not, I haven't reached perfection. I haven't reached anything that's, yes, I'm there. You're never going to get there. You're always going to continue to grow. And I said that to a client yesterday. They said, do we ever get there? And I said, no. Well, yeah, when you're dead, right? We're always learning. We're always growing. And, you're going to make tons of mistakes. Some things will work out and a lot of things won't. It doesn't matter. And if people start getting negative about what you're doing or criticizing you because of the mistakes you made, just say, thanks very much for your input. But I've got a plan, and I'm going to pivot as many times as I have to make the plan work. And I'm okay with making mistakes, right? I've got no problem with getting it wrong. Just so thank them anyway, but stop listening to them. Because when you're trying something new, mistakes are inevitable. Those mistakes are also some of your greatest teachers. And one of my people that I absolutely love to talk about is Edison. 10,000 ways the light bulb didn't work. Imagine if he listened to all those people that telling me he was nuts and we were never going to have electricity. I mean, you know what? Evidence speaks for itself, right? So stop listening to people. And I always think about when I'm listening to people, if I woke up the next day and I was that person, would I be happy? And if the answer is no, I definitely don't want to be them. Don't want to listen to them. I don't listen to them. And if I wouldn't go to them for personal advice, then why am I worried about what they think, right? Just remember that mistakes can help you gain knowledge and skill. And it helps you develop resilience and determination. That's why I say that just never be afraid to make mistakes along your journey. It will stop you from even trying something. In the past, I've been heavily criticized for taking risks and making mistakes. And funnily enough, that's usually been said by people who don't take risks. What do you want to know, right? So everyone will have an opinion about what you're doing and when you're trying something new. And there was another quote that I found a long, long time ago, is that opinions are like backsides. Everyone's got one. So just ignore them. Think about what they're saying. Does it have any relevance? Is it helpful? If it's not, forget about it, right? Learn to embrace your mistakes as learning opportunities, because they'll make you better. They'll make you stronger, and they'll make you more capable. Because as a person, I love how capable I feel because of all the pain and adversity and challenges I've gone through. So remember then that growth doesn't happen overnight either. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes dedication. And your journey is going to be like this, right? Ups and downs. But realize every time you make a mistake, it was an opportunity to learn something new. And you might have to do that over and over and over and over. And the last 2 years, I've done that over and over and over so many times, it's just driving me crazy. But I'm never going to stop, because I know sooner or later, I'm going to realize what I'm working for. And then all of that will come. It'll be that, oh, that's why I had to learn that. That's why I had to do that, right? You can look back probably on your life and think all the things that didn't work for you, they're probably a blessing in disguise. So maybe go back through some of your mistakes and some of the things that you thought were horrible and painful and really traumatic at the time. Maybe you were just on the wrong track and your soul's going, get off that track. I have to make it messy. Otherwise you're going to stay there forever and you'll never become who you really are or do what you're really meant to do. So learn from it, okay? Grow, 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 right? No one's perfect. But when we make our mistakes and we use them as learning moments, they become part of our personal journey, and they become a huge part of our growth. So the final thing that I'd like to share is that the best thing about personal growth is that it's all up to you, right? You and only you are in charge of your own journey. And the possibilities, I kid you not, are endless. And it really is empowering to take responsibility for yourself and use everything that you've discovered, found, learned along the way, and to gain confidence and to make meaningful changes in your life. No one is coming to do that for you, okay? No one's going to go, oh, you're a really nice person. I'm going to help you do this. You've been trying so hard. Here, let me take that over for you and make it happen. It's not going to happen, all right? Take the time to reflect on. As a wrap up now, I want to remind you to take the time to reflect on how far you've come since you started. And it doesn't matter whether it's this far or this far, right? Think about all you've gained and be mindful of the progress. And it doesn't matter how little that progress is, right? Celebrate the courage you activated just to keep going when things got tough. Celebrate the fact that you even started in the first place, and when you kept going when things were tough, that shows you who you are and what you're capable of. So remember to celebrate you. Okay, celebrate you. And thank you for putting that up on the screen, team. Okay, so that's it for me today. Remember to constantly be working on your personal growth, growing your skills, growing your resources. And if you need help with that, let me help you celebrate. Now, book a call. This link is on the screen right now. Okay, just go after what you want in life, guys. You get one life. And next Tuesday, I will be sharing with you when you celebrate the moments that matter. And as always, I want to thank you for being here. I want you to do your life your way. So be sure to join my online community. There's 115 or 16 videos on there. We're celebrating today. That will help you with that journey. Will give you the tools that you need, and share them with as many people as you can, because people are out there suffering and they don't need to. And if I can help one person, then I've done my job. So, we've got 117 live videos. Happy days. That's mad. Really cool. So, you know what? There'll be something in there that could help somebody get through something. So I would love you to help me get the word out there and share that. So my greatest wish for you then, as always, is for you to be MindFit and for you to live your best life and to live it with passion. So reset, be authentic, and be you. Thanks. See you next week.